This is the Rode Wireless Go 2. It's a two-person wireless lav mic system, and it's been the most exciting release of 2021, in my opinion, so far. However, there are a lot of competitors to the Rode, such as the Saramonic Blink 500 Pro. You may have seen a review previously gushing about this wireless mic system and how it's been our go-to. So the question we want to answer in this video is, how does the Rode compare to the Saramonic in terms of sound quality and features? The answer may surprise you. I know it definitely surprised me. So before I dive into specifics, let me tell you a bit about how we use our wireless microphone systems. Here on this channel, my partner Martin and I talk a lot about the camera gear that we use to produce travel vlogs on our second channel. And our travel vlogging channel is really special in that there's two of us, and it's always been a struggle for us to find a good microphone system for two people. Our original vlogging microphone system was the original Rode Wireless Go, and while we loved this mic system, the number one thing we wanted from it was a secondary microphone. So that's why the Rode Wireless Go 2, as well as the Saramonic Blink 500 Pro, have been our main vlogging accessory that we've been using with our cameras. Speaking of cameras, the main cameras that we use with these wireless mic systems are GoPros. This is the GoPro Hero 9 inside of the GoPro Media Mod, and we also use these mics with our mirrorless cameras such as the Fujifilm X-T3 and our smartphones. We use the mics for vlogs, but we also occasionally do paid videos for clients, and so there's a lot of use cases for these microphones. So before we talk about differences, let's talk about the things that the Rode and the Saramonic have in common. First of all, they're both two-person microphone systems, so they both come with two transmitters and one receiver. The transmitters have built-in microphones, so you can just clip the transmitters to your subject and have a microphone built in, or you can plug in a wired lavalier microphone through a 3.5mm mic jack. Both mic systems can record in mono or single-track audio or stereo audio with two tracks. It should be noted that when you record in stereo or two-track audio, you do have to do an extra step in post-production to make sure that those two audio channels are balanced. Otherwise, straight out of camera, you're going to hear one audio channel on one earphone and one on the other earphone. Both the Rode and the Saramonic have clips so that you can clip the transmitters with the built-in mics to your subject. And you can also clip the receiver to the top cold shoe mount of any camera. And finally, both the Rode and the Saramonic come with charging cables. For the Rode, it's USB-C, and for the Saramonic, it's micro USB. And now for the differences. Let's start with the Rode Wireless Go 2 and talk about some of the pros. First of all, both microphones come with these wind muffs that can attach to the top of the transmitter where the built-in microphone is. And the nice thing about the Rode Wireless Go 2 is that they've really improved the way that the wind muff attaches to the top of the transmitter. On the original Rode Wireless Go, this thing was really not the greatest attachment, and it was really easy to lose it. The same is true for the Saramonic Blink 500 Pro. They kind of copied the same original Rode Wireless Go attachment of the wind muff. And so on the Rode Wireless Go 2, the wind muff attaches nice and securely, and so no matter how much movement you're doing, you don't have to worry about losing your wind muff. Another great thing about the Rode Wireless Go 2 is that it seamlessly plugs and plays with your computer. So you can take the receiver and plug it into your computer via the USB-C cable and plug in the USB-A cable to your computer or an iPad or tablet. And once you power on the transmitters, you can automatically have a wireless microphone system that records to your computer. This is really great for doing voiceovers or Zoom calls, and it just really extends the functionality of wireless microphone systems. Testing audio with the Rode Wireless Go 2 plugged directly into the computer. The next feature is probably the biggest advantage that the Rode has over other wireless microphone systems out there, and that is the ability to record audio on board onto the transmitter. Each transmitter can record up to 24 hours of uncompressed audio or 7 hours of compressed audio. The audio stores internally into the transmitter. It does not require a memory card. In fact, you can't even put a memory card in here even if you wanted to. But the nice thing is this is starting to act like an actual sound recorder, which is something that you used to have to do independently using like a Tascam or a Zoom recorder. Now you can do that into the transmitter, and it's nice redundancy for your audio. audio in case you want to make sure that your audio is recording both to your camera and having a secondary backup in your transmitter. Speaking of backups, the Rode now comes with an optional safety channel. When you have the safety channel enabled, the Rode records a secondary audio track that records at -20 decibels. This is really handy in case your primary audio track accidentally clips, because when you have clipped audio, you just can't save it. And so having that secondary track is really handy as a backup. And finally, one of the best features about the Rode Wireless Go 2 is its improved transmission distance of 200 meters. That's the furthest distance of any other wireless microphone systems of the same price point. In addition to that, there's also improved transmission reliability in areas of high RF activity, such as in crowded malls or shopping centers or airports. Yeah, this is a quick sound test. There is some music like right over my shoulder, so we'll see how that is picked up by these microphones, but other than that, let's give it a shot. So those are just a few of the really great features about the Rode Wireless Go 2. There are more features to talk about, but we'll do that in a separate, more in-depth review of the Rode Wireless Go 2 coming up soon. But now that we've talked about some of the pros, let's talk about some of the cons. Because for all of the great things about the Rode Wireless Go 2, it's still not the perfect microphone system. The first thing is that even though you can control the decibel levels on the receiver via this physical button here, there are only 3 increments. So it's really hard to dial down your settings to be really exact. But you can enable an additional setting if you go into Rode Central. Speaking of Rode Central, that's another thing that's not so great about the Rode Wireless Go 2. There are a lot of extra features to unlock within this mic system, but you have to do so by going into the Rode Central app. And that app is only available on desktop computers at the moment. I'm really hopeful that they'll come out with a mobile phone app at some point, because it would be really handy to be able to adjust all these settings on your phone, but for now you have to physically plug in the receiver or the transmitters to your computer to access Rode Central. So once you log into the Rode Central app, here are some of the features that you can change. You can turn the backlight on and off. You can control the gain mode to be coarse or fine, as well as fine-tune the gain. You can split or merge the audio. You can turn the safety channel on and off. And you can also disable the mute button on the transmitters. I would say for sure that the number one thing you want to do, at least in our case, is disable that mute button. We found out the hard way that it's really easy to accidentally turn on the mute on your transmitters, because all you do is turn on the transmitter, and once you tap that same on button, that also mutes your transmitter. And so we accidentally recorded one of our vlogs this way with one person muted, and it kind of ruined our vlog. So, bye! Nice. Yeah, that's right. How's it going? The final really big con to the Rode Wireless Go 2 has to do with the onboard recording feature, which is really great in theory, but it needs some fine-tuning. So one thing is, the only way to enable the onboard recording is to plug in the transmitters to your computer and sync them up to Rode Central. And once you do that, the onboard recording just keeps going. The only way to stop it is to either turn off your transmitter or plug your transmitter back into your computer and turn off the recording via Rode Central. So that can be a little annoying if you really want to fine-tune exactly when you're recording to your transmitter, especially since these transmitters do have a limit of how much audio they can store inside of them. Now let's turn it over to the Saramonic Blink 500 Pro, starting with some of the pros. The very first thing I love about this mic system is the fact that it comes in this case, which also doubles as a charging case. So if you look closely, you might notice that all of these receivers and transmitters that are plugged in are actually charging when they're inside of the case. And I love this feature about the Saramonic, and that's something that I really wish Rode would incorporate. Right now, the Rode does come with a case. It's a soft neoprene case, and it also comes with the charging cables, but you have to have 3 different outlets to plug in each of the units. Speaking of included physical perks, the Saramonic includes 2 wired lavalier microphones that you can plug into the transmitter if you want to record audio that way. The Rode does not come with lav mics. You have to purchase them separately, and the Rode branded lav mics, although they're really great in quality, they do add up in price. The next really great feature about the Saramonic is that the receiver includes a headphone jack. So you can plug in a pair of headphones and monitor or check your audio through the receiver of the Saramonic. And that's really nice because the Rode does not include the headphone jack. And so a lot of cameras do include headphone jacks for that exact purpose, but not all cameras do. So depending on what kind of camera you're filming with, this headphone jack may or may not be a perk, but it is really nice that it's included as an option on the Saramonic. Going over to the transmitters, the Saramonic transmitter has a built-in LCD, and that can give you some peace of mind to verify that your settings are correct and synced up. And contrast that to the Rode. The Rode is just blank. It has only 2 blue lights up top. And so those 2 blue lights are what you're relying on to verify that your systems are connected and powered on. And the final edge that I think that the Saramonic Blink 500 Pro has over the Rode Wireless Go 2 is the fact that most of those features that we talked about earlier for the Rode that have to be controlled through the Rode Central app, you don't need an app to do that with the Saramonic. You can control most of those available features inside of the Saramonic's transmitter. So obviously you can't do some of those features such as the onboard recording and the safety feature. We'll talk more about that below. But for things like muting your transmitters and also controlling your gain and even turning off the backlight of the receiver and the transmitter, you do that all through the receiver. You don't have to fiddle with an app. But now let's talk about some of the cons of the Saramonic Blink 500 Pro. Number 1, you can't do the onboard recording and you can't do the safety feature. So if those are 2 things that you really want on your mic system, then you'll have to go with Rode for that. You also cannot connect the Saramonic to your computer through USB. At least in my research, that doesn't work. So if you ever want to use this system with your computer for Zoom calls or voiceover recordings, then that's not going to work. There's also a much shorter transmission range with the Saramonic. It's only 100 meters compared to the Rode Wireless Go's 200 meters. So you double your transmission range with the Rode. That may or may not be important to you. For us, we don't usually get 200 meters far from our subject, and we tend to be really close to each other, so that's not really the biggest issue for us. But if you really tend to stray away from your subject or your receiver, then that might be a really big factor for you. And the final con is that each Saramonic receiver and transmitter is powered by micro USB. So if you ever want to charge them individually, you have to use a micro USB cable instead of a USB-C cable that you would with the Rode system. That again may not be the biggest factor either, since the Saramonics do come with this case that can charge all 3 units, and this case itself is powered through USB-C. So may or may not be a big issue for you either. And now for the final part of this video, we're going to compare some audio samples using both the Saramonic Blink 500 Pro and the Rode Wireless Go 2. But we should also note that audio quality will probably be really subjective, so it really depends on the headphones that you're using or the speakers, and also the overall audio quality of the device that you're listening on. So keep that in mind.
We're testing mics, driving on an amazing road right between Idaho and Montana.
Or multitasking, yeah. So this is the Rode Wireless Go 2. Each of us have the little transmitters with the built-in microphones, no wind muff on them. So yeah, comparing the sound to the Saramonic Blink 500 Pro as well as the GoPro Media Mod. We now are both mic'd up with the Saramonic Blink 500 Pro, which up until the Rode Wireless Go 2 came out, this was our #1 choice for a 2-person wireless lav mic system.
Yeah, this is a good one, and this is the big showdown. Everyone is asking us how it compares to the brand new Rode Wireless Go 2. We don't know. This is the first test of all of them.
Right now we're just filming with the GoPro Hero 9 and the Media Mod, so the Media Mod microphone. We are driving, we're going, I don't know, 30, 40-ish miles an hour. So there is some, external noise around us.
It's raining too, so it will be noisy, and I'm also farther from the mic this way, so my voice should have a lot more echo.
Yeah. Okay, so now we're filming a segment without the wind muffs on the Rode Wireless Go 2 so that we can compare these to the Saramonic Blink 500 Pro. And the Blink 500 Pro does have this issue. It's the same issue as the old Wireless Go, where the little wind muffs don't stay on very well. So we've already lost like 2 of the wind muffs for the Saramonic Blink. So we unfortunately can't test that aspect of it. So for that reason, we're filming without the muffs here so that we can compare this sample to the Saramonic.
Yeah, so that's a big win for the wireless Go 2 that the muff stays on.
Okay, so we switched over to the Saramonic Blink 500 Pro, again without those wind muffs, so there might be a little bit of interference, but the idea is to try to get an idea of what the sound quality of the Saramonic is like compared to the Rode Wireless Go. So we're shooting in the exact same setting we were earlier, and this is what it sounds like.
Yeah, let's see. We don't know yet. Everyone's excited for this one. The only problem with these lav mics is you can't hear the birds singing.
That's true, or maybe you can. I don't know. We actually don't know, but I doubt it. Those are pretty loud birds, though. And yeah, we'll do a bit of a distance test.
It should be what, 100 meters?
Yeah, this one can go up to 100 meters. So if we want to, we can try doing something like that.
All right, let me lose you then.
Okay.
I won't be able to hear, but she can talk to herself in the back.
The problem with the distance thing is that you can't hear each other, so you can't really have a conversation. But yeah, now we're pretty far from each other. So I'm walking and catching up, and yet the distance shouldn't matter. You should still be able to hear me pretty clearly and evenly.
Test number 2 with Rode Wireless Go 2.
Yeah, so we each have the transmitter, no wind muff.
All right, I'm running away.
All right. He has longer legs, he can go faster.
For proof, you guys can see on the camera how far she's getting.
So yeah, obviously we're not going to get 200 meters apart in this test, but it's still really good to prove the point that
I
you
don't
can
hear
hear
her
us
at all
evenly,
anymore.
no matter how far away we are
But the
from each
camera
other.
should.
I've caught up.
Yeah.
I'm coming. And my voice should still be even on the mic system.
I couldn't hear you at all.
I know, I couldn't either, so we both were probably talking over each other.
I didn't talk much because I figured that much.
Yeah. All right, so we're testing out the Saramonics again. We're kind of waiting for some traffic to go by just to generate some noise so we can see how the Saramonic handles recording our voices even when there's a lot of noise going by.
Yes, and it is, so should be a good test.
Yeah.
Big cars. Just about everybody here has a pickup truck.
So we have some pig fries and also some masa. We're here at the Fat Pig tonight to have dinner.
We're not eating like fat pigs, we're at the Fat Pig.
There is a difference, yes. The cheese is good. We really have those Mexican flavors. But yeah, I love that sauce.
Nice. And here are the Fat Pig fries. They look the part.
Those look so good.
Yeah, let's dig in.
Well, we destroyed that plate of fries and the masa cakes. They were so good. They're actually too good. So we ate them all, and now we have our entrees. And they're massive.
They're huge.
They're huge. Oh boy.
Wow, this is the beef cheek with polenta.
That looks really good.
Yeah.
And then I have the piri-piri chicken.
We were saying earlier that we're going hard on the dining because we've missed so much opportunity in the past year. Not nothing, but much less than what it used to.
Yeah. You know, our dining rooms in Seattle they're getting open. They're like at 25% capacity at this point, but yeah, not like Idaho. It seems like they're fully open here. You guys can let us know what you think in terms of audio quality, but for us, we personally didn't hear the biggest difference between the Rode and the Saramonic. The Rode might have a slight edge in terms of audio quality, but honestly the Saramonic is really up there. We think they're pretty equivalent in terms of being able to pick up our voices and also block out any external noise in our recordings. So at the end of the day, which one is better? The Rode Wireless Go 2 or the Saramonic Blink 500 Pro? I don't think it's really easy to declare a winner, especially considering that these are the exact same price of $299. And each mic system, really offers unique features that the other mic system doesn't. So I think it really comes down to which features are more important to you, and possibly sound quality. In case you heard any difference in those clips that we just played, perhaps that might also influence your decision. But in a lot of ways, these two I think are pretty equal. And so it's really just going to come down to which features you value and want in your mic system. But let me know in the comments what you guys think, if you agree with our conclusion or if you disagree. And also stay tuned because we have some other wireless mic systems to compare to the Rode, including the Hollyland Lark 150 and the Comica Boom XU. And of course, we'll be doing a full-on review of the Rode Wireless Go 2 coming up. So stay tuned and thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next video.